Hello, Grand Park. It's Courtney. Welcome to your Yoga Allah retreat. I hope that you're doing okay out there. I hope that you're staying healthy and well. And today we are going to focus on the idea of unity, of connection, of coming back to our wholeness. And to me, this is the root of what yoga is. So yoga, the word, is Sanskrit for unity, to yoke, to join together. And it's really a call back to feel our connection to everything, to feel our connection to everyone, to join together in the truth of the moment. And this isn't all love and light and Pollyanna, like, yay, like, let's just all be positive. The idea of joining together, of yoking, can be just standing in the truth of a difficult moment together. So we're still in a pandemic. We're still in a huge social justice reckoning. And so I just want us to use today to be a moment to connect with our own bodies, with our own breaths, with what's happening, with what's true and real, so that we can feel more connected and whole and take care of ourselves and our world a little better. So this is powerful stuff. It's a simple practice, but it's very complex in its layers. So let's find our tall seat. So settling your hips down on something. I recommend sitting up on something, a block, a blanket, a book. You could sit up in a chair for this part. But whatever you do, make sure that you feel a connection to the floor. So a connection, soles of the feet on the earth if you're in a chair, your sit bones connected to whatever you're sitting on or the earth. And let's all just place one hand on our heart, one hand on the belly. Go ahead and close your eyes. And first just allow the connection of your palms to the body to remind you of your body, to bring you into the space of your body. So we spend a lot of time in our heads. Let's get into our bodies. Start to notice your breath. Notice where it is filling in, where it is not. And then with your hand on your heart, just acknowledging whatever is in your unique, beautiful heart today. So is there sorrow? Is there joy? Is there pain? Is there suffering? Is there lightness? Just noticing, and it can be a lot of things at once. And then with your hand on your belly, can you start to deepen your breath, deepen into the experience of your heart? Maybe starting to slow down the breath. Maybe starting to fill in more breath. And then here, go ahead and place your palms down on your thighs or in your lap. Feel your connection to whatever's touching earth and just draw your awareness to what you hear. So maybe it's the sound of my voice, maybe it's the sound of whatever's happening in the next room or outside. Are there birds? Are there cars? Can you use those sounds to connect you to what is happening maybe just inside your space or maybe just outside your space? So we're just expanding our awareness slightly. And can you maybe use those sounds to feel connected, to feel present, to feel your lack of separation and your abundance of everything, of wholeness, of the sound of Om, everything in one. From here, we're just going to flutter our eyes open and we're just going to take a few breaths together. So even though we're not physically in this space, I want to remind us that we're all doing this breath together as a collective. So it might help to take a soft gaze at the floor. If it helps to keep your eyes closed, please do that. We're just going to take 4 inhales, 4 exhales together. So let your exhale come all the way out. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release your breath. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. And then just allow breath to flow in. Maybe taking a slight bit of control of it, so finding an inhale that matches your exhale. And then we'll take the left ear to the left shoulder, keeping that right shoulder down away from your ear. Send some breath to any areas of separation or tightness. And allow your connection of breath to settle that right shoulder down, to unite you in this moment. Chin goes into chest, right ear goes to right shoulder. So finding some space in the left side of our neck, left shoulder comes away from the ear. Softening down, breathing in. Uniting with this moment, being with the neck as it is, but working with the neck as it is. And then we're just going to take some half neck rolls. So just moving side to side, so nothing too dramatic. We're not super warm, just taking your ear to your shoulder and then rolling the chin into the chest. Taking your other ear to your other shoulder. Keep your sit bones grounding down on whatever you're connected with, floor or chair. And then lift your chin, interlace your hands behind your back, and then keeping as much bend in your elbows as you need today. Send your interlace away, just find a big opening of your heart. So if that's too much, you can keep bend, you can keep a little bit of a back bend in your upper back. Shoulder blades are coming together. Breathing, breathing, breathing into the space of your heart and being with whatever is in that beautiful heart. Go ahead and release, and then we'll find our way to a stand. So we're going to harmonize our body with movement and breath, remembering that we're all doing this as a community together. So stacking your feet, your heels, underneath your hips, and making sure those hips are stacked underneath the shoulders. Hands come out to the side, standing and distributing weight into all parts of your feet. So finding balance, finding this sense of unity and the way that we're positioning the body. So notice if you have a tendency to put weight into one hip or the balls of the feet instead of the heels. Maybe even lift your toes up And then find a big wide stance with the toes that take up just as much weight as your heels. Settle your shoulders down, palms are out, facing forward. Let your exhale come all the way out of your body. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, fold your heart, let your head go, forward fold. Inhale, hands on shins, reach your heart forward, head is reaching away from tailbone. Exhale, melt your heart forward, let your head go. Inhale, press into your feet, rise your arms tall, draw them tall above your head. And then exhale, draw your hands into your heart. 2 more times just like that. Breath with movement. Inhale, reach up, ground down into your feet. Exhale, fold the heart, let your head go, let the feet support you. Inhale, find length in your spine, heart reaching away from your tail. Exhale, forward fold, let your head go. Inhale, draw your arms tall to sky. Exhale, draw hands into heart. 1 more time. Inhale, draw your arms tall. Maybe you look up. Exhale, bend in your knees, fold your heart, let your head go. Inhale, hands to shins, heart reaches forward, flat back. Exhale, melt your heart, release your head, release your jaw. Inhale, press into feet, rise up, arms tall. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Tap your fingertips to your shoulders. We have our little chicken wings, angel wings. And then let's roll out the shoulders. So elbows come in and up and around and down. And instead of fighting the shoulders, can you work with the shoulders? So being in the truth of whatever is sticky or tight in the shoulders and not forcing it to move, working with it, being unionized with it to find space, to honor it. And then we'll take the elbows the other direction. So listening, maybe we don't make as big of circles on this side, on this circling. Or maybe there's more space. So yoga is truly a practice of being with things as they are, being in the truth of them, uniting with that universal truth, the truth of all people, no matter how different we all are. Taking the hands down to the sides. Let's inhale, rise the arms tall again. Exhale, fold the body in half. We're going to take a little pause here. So forward fold, let your head go. It might feel nice to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. So that will create more of a foundation. Offer yourself that stability. Unless it feels better to keep the feet hips distance. Let your head go. The fingertips can touch. If that doesn't happen, honor that. Maybe hands to your hips. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Listen to the backs of your legs. So not forcing the legs to be straight. Honoring where the legs are right now as we're still warming up. And bending the knees to create release and unity in the back of the legs. From here, we're going to walk ourselves forward to a plank pose. So wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders. Knees can totally be down. So if it's too much, if there's too much shaking, if the wrists don't like this, please take your knees down. Whatever you're doing, lift up out of the shoulders to create space in your neck. Press into the knuckles. If your knees are up, heels are reaching back, belly scooping into the spine. Notice if you're not in your breath, Bring the breath back. And then as you exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. So downward facing dog can also be on the forearms if the wrists are tender. But in downward facing dog, there's very little weight in the wrists. So the arms are really doing this work. So we're hugging the arms in, we're pressing the knuckles down and forward. The head is releasing. The triceps are super active here. So if you're feeling this in your wrists, see if you can activate your arms. Spread your palms wide. Press down into your knuckles. Really let your head go here. And then from here, we're going to roll forward back into a plank on the inhale. Exhale, hips come up and back. See if you can really connect your movement with your breath. Unionize the two. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards your hands, right foot steps where the right hand is. We're going to stay up on the ball of the back foot. So crescent lunge, right knee stays stacked over your right ankle. Press into your feet. So the ball of the back foot, the entire right foot. Stack yourself over yourself and then listen to where you are in this moment. So maybe left knee taps down. If your low back is feeling like it's not in alignment with this pose, bend your back knee more. So finding a sense of balance in the pose, listening to what the body is telling us, and finding our true, unique expression of the pose. So we can all be in a different version of crescent lunge and still be in the practice together. Maybe steady your gaze at eye level, or maybe look up a little bit, finding a little bit of back bend here. Check it out, what's going on in the shoulders. And then on your exhale, hands come down to earth. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Looking towards your hands, this time on our inhale, step your left foot. Staying up on the ball of your back foot, maybe taking the left foot out to the left to create more of a foundation for yourself. Left knee is stacked over left ankle, and then whenever you're ready, press into the ball of the back foot, your entire left foot, to find your crescent lunge on the left. So maybe you don't have to do the same thing you did on the other side. So listen to what's happening in this moment on this side. So if the low back is feeling crunchy, bend your back knee a lot or set your knee down. If you're really resisting and fighting this shape, take care of yourself, honor yourself by tapping your right knee down to the floor. You can also pad your knee with a blanket. Steady your gaze on one point, maybe eye level, maybe little baby back bend, looking up slightly. Coming into your breath, being in this moment with your body. On your exhale, hands come down. Left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Let's come to a child's pose. So knees come wide. If you have a mat, about as wide as your mat. If you don't, a little bit wider than your hips. Big toes come together to touch. Sink your hips back for your heels. And then settle your forehead down. So if the forehead doesn't naturally touch, draw your stacked fists underneath your forehead and settle your forehead down on your stacked fists. Allow your forehead to rest. Offer your body to the floor. Feel your connection to whatever is touching the earth. Really come into your breath. And then you totally have an option to stay here or come back here anytime you need it. If you're ready for some more movement, we'll find our way back, downward facing dog. So looking towards the top of your mat, we're gonna step the feet. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, draw your arms tall. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart. One breath, one movement. Inhale, draw your arms up. Exhale, fold your heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps for the right hand. Press into your feet, crescent lunge, knee up or knee down. Exhale, hands come down, plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps, back foot stays on the ball of the foot. Press it up, crescent lunge, or you can tap your knee down. Exhale, hands come down, plank, downward facing dog. We'll pause here. Option for your child's pose, knees down and wide, forehead resting, or staying up in your down dog, pressing the weight into your knuckles, sending your heart back, armpits are hugging, triceps are working. How is your breath? Are you in this moment? Are you in your body? Can you get there through your awareness? And it's okay if it's a struggle today. Every day is different. So we'll do that all one more time, looking towards your hands. Step your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold the body. Inhale, draw your arms tall. Exhale, draw your hands to heart. Inhale, rise your arms. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, feet step back, plank, downward facing dog. Right foot to right hand, up on the ball of the back foot, crescent lunge, knee up, knee down. Exhale, hands come down, plank, down dog. Inhale, left foot steps, up on the ball of back foot, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down, plank, down dog, or we take child's pose. So use these, they're called resting poses. So child's pose or down dog, to check in, to reconnect to the moment, reconnect to the breath. Find yourself in a state of union if you've slipped off into a past or a future thought. And we're going to roll forward and back to our plank, down dog 3 more times, just like we did at the beginning. If this is not helping you feel connected to yourself, come on down into child's. So let your exhale come out. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, hips come up and back, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, up and back, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, hips come up and back. And then let's walk our hands back for the feet. If you're in your child's pose, find your way down dog. Back to a forward fold. Let's press into our feet, roll ourselves up to stand. And taking just a little pause in mountain pose. So just like we started standing, feet under hips, under shoulders, palms out to the side, shoulders melting down, feeling the feet deeply rooted into earth. Maybe closing your eyes and just connecting with yourself after some movement. You're doing great. You're here. Each new moment is a new opportunity to connect. When you're ready, open your eyes. We're going to come into some balance. Hands to your hips. You might want to come next to a wall. So if you're coming next to a wall to support yourself in balance, have the left side of your body facing the wall. So we'll start on the left foot, tree pose. We do this pose a lot. It's just such a beautiful way to draw ourselves into the moment, to focus ourselves, to give strength, a shot in our ankles and our legs. So pressing down into your left foot. Allow that pressing down of your left foot to send the left thigh back slightly. So the entire left leg is fired up, steady, stable, like an iron rod in the sand or a tree trunk in the earth. From here, we'll take the right foot, the right heel to the left ankle. The right knee tracks out to the right. And we're already in balance. This might be a great place to put your left hand to a wall. Re-establish your foundation, your grounding. So pressing that left foot into earth, pressing that left thigh back. And then option to stay here, maybe hand at the wall. If you're feeling pretty balanced and okay today, the right foot comes to the calf. Check in there, see how that goes. If that's feeling great, left foot comes into the inner right foot comes into the inner left thigh, Press the leg into the foot, ground down into that left standing leg. Coming to the wall if you need support. So it's a really beautiful practice to learn how to support ourselves when we need it. And when we learn how to support ourselves, I really do believe we learn to support others. So when we can take care of ourselves, we better take care of others. So finding whatever your expression of balance is today, not fighting it. So if you're wobbling all around, you're resisting what's true. So maybe come down to, it's not even a lesser version, it's a more supported version of the pose today. Expressing your pose with your hands. So that might mean hand to a wall. That might mean growing your branches tall to the sky. Keep rooting and grounding down into your standing leg. Drawing a relationship to your breath. Remember, we're all doing this together. Beautiful forest of trees. Every tree is different, but when they come together, they create a beautiful forest. On your exhale, release out. And now we'll ground our right foot to the earth. If you're coming to a wall, a wall space to the right side of your body. So hands to the hips. That's just a nice way to hug it all in, get stable. Press down into your right foot, send your right thigh back slightly. So we've got that really strong tree trunk, iron rod in the sand, however you like to visualize this. And then maybe the right hand comes to a wall. Left foot comes in like a kickstand, and we just see where balance is on this side. So we're meeting each moment, not expecting anything, just seeing where we are today. So maybe you're like, ooh, balance is not my friend today. I'm going to come to a wall to support myself. Or maybe you're like, wow, I've never been so balanced in my life. So maybe taking the foot to the calf, checking it out there, seeing how that goes. Maybe taking the foot to your inner right thigh. Maybe coming to the support of a wall. Maybe you keep your hands at your hips. Maybe you grow those branches. It doesn't have to look like whatever happened on the other side. Press your leg into your foot as much as you're pressing foot into leg. Everything hugging to center and grounding down into what is touching earth. Find your breath here. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, release. Ground your feet underneath your hips. Find your mountain pose. Close your eyes. Feel your feet underneath you. Feel your breath moving through you. Beautiful. Flutter your eyes open. One more balance. So it's a little variation of tree. Again, wall might be a really great friend today. So we'll come back to the left leg. We're going to press into our left foot. We're going to send that left thigh back. Hands come to the hips. And then maybe you just take your toe, instead of taking the foot to the ankle, maybe taking your foot slightly, your right foot slightly ahead of you and lifting up in your heel. So that would be option one. Keep grounding down into your standing foot and pressing that left thigh back. You can come to a wall again, left hand at the wall. If you'd like to challenge your balance a little more, if you're feeling stable, lift your right knee to hip height or maybe a little lower. Keep grounding down into that foot. Maybe left hand at a wall. So stay here if you're feeling really challenged. Find breath. So if the breath has ceased, please stay and find breath. If you want to play a little bit more, maybe extend your right leg straight-ish. This could be lower, it could be hip height. We're grounding down into our standing leg. Wherever you are, find your breath. And then on your exhale, release. So we're grounding down into the right foot. We're sending that right thigh back slightly. We're bending the left knee, tapping the left foot out slightly from the left hip. We're lifting up in the heel. Maybe we're taking the right hand to a wall. This might be where we stay. This is still balance. This is still yoga. This is still finding breath. If the breath is flowing, if you're feeling stable, lift your left knee. Reestablish your grounding. So feel that connection in your standing leg. And then maybe stay here, or maybe come back down, or maybe extend your left foot. Maybe lifting the leg up to hip height. That takes a lot of thigh strength. That might not be your jam today. Maybe the leg is slightly lifted. Wherever you are, breathe into your own beautiful, unique expression of the pose, honoring yourself in this moment, and then set your left foot down. Really great work. That takes a lot of strength, a lot of focus. Let's find our mountain pose one more time. So feet underneath hips, hips underneath shoulders. Settle the feet down to earth. Maybe close your eyes. Connect with your breath. Connect with the sounds around you. Allow them to draw you into relationship with everything around you. Everything is one. Even all its unique sounds and structures and opinions and beliefs, all together as one truth. Drawing your eyes open, we're going to come to our legs up the wall pose. So those of you who have been practicing with me for a while, you can get on in it. I think you know how to do it by now. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is one of my favorite poses because it's just such a beautiful way to reset the nervous system. I'll tell you how to do it. So you're going to come to something that doesn't have stuff up above. So I'm using a closet door. That's a really nice thing to use. So not a door that someone is going to come through. You could use a cabinet, you could use a refrigerator, as long as there's not like a bunch of magnets and stuff on it. You could use a free wall space, the headboard of your bed, anything where you can place your feet up and you're not going to knock stuff over and hurt yourself. So find that space. You don't really need to look at me to do this. You can just listen to my verbal cues, or you can take your screen with you if that's helpful. All right, so we're coming to sit down against whatever we're putting our legs up. We're gonna tuck, it's really important to tuck the hip as close in as you can. So your shoulder, it doesn't matter which side you're on, shoulder and hip are flush with the closet door, the cabinet, the bed frame, whatever you're putting your legs up. You're gonna maintain this connection of hip and shoulder. Slide your hips forward, come down to your elbows so that your entire side body is connected to whatever you're putting your legs up. This is gonna save you a lot of wiggles later. It's really important to set it up right. And then in a swoop or maybe two swoops, you're gonna take your legs to come up. The back of the legs are against whatever you're putting your legs up. So your bottom should be as close to that thing as possible. So that's why coming really close will help you find that connection. And then you're gonna listen to the backs of the legs here. So you'll bend your knees any amount. You'll take your arms however they feel best. So sometimes it feels really nice to take up a lot of space, take your arms wide. Sometimes it feels nice to rest your hands on your body. So hands on the belly, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, or whatever feels good to you today. So listening, responding, knowing what you need. And then I'm going to encourage us all to close our eyes. If that feels weird or unsafe, just take a gaze at the ceiling. Start to connect with your breath. Start to notice what you feel here. So what are the mental effects? How does this feel physically? It's very normal to feel tingles in the legs, but just know if it ever feels weird or not right, you can bend your knees and place the soles of your feet against the wall, and then rejoin us when you feel better or when you feel okay to put your legs back up. And then we're just going to be here for a couple minutes. This is called an inversion. It's a way to get ourselves upside down. It's a great pose to do, to shift perspective, to come into balance. It's really good if we have cramps, if our legs hurt, if we're tired. It's just a really great way to reverse energy. So I'm going to be quiet to give us a little space here. And again, if at any point it feels weird or too much, you can bend your knees, rest the soles of your feet together, and just take rest there. So if you've slipped away, just a reminder to come back into the space of your breath. or to notice the effects of this shape in your body. And see if you can just watch yourself take 3 more full cycles of breath. So just watching your inhale come in, watching your exhale go out, watching your inhale come in, watching your exhale go out. Watching your inhale come in, watching your exhale go out. And then if your legs are still up, starting to slide your heels down to where your knees just were, resting the soles of the feet against the wall. And then rolling over to one side, bending your elbow, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. Feel the earth underneath you. Feel whatever's touching earth ground down. And then using your free hand to press yourself up. And then we'll all find a comfortable position on our back. So I'm going to come up to the screen just to talk us through some finishing things. So you will find a position on your back that feels restful. So it might be flat on your back. It might be bending your knees, soles of the feet underneath your knees. And then we're just going to ground here. So really let whatever is touching earth touch earth. So create space around your neck by sending your shoulders down. Let your entire back body rest. Placing the hands either out to the sides, palms up, or resting the hands on the body. And we're just going to take a minute of full rest here. So maybe closing your eyes and then letting yourself completely go here, supported by the floor. Starting to draw awareness back to your breath. Starting to find some small movements to bring you back home into your body. No rush, you're welcome to stay on your back or rolling over to your right side, making that little pillow for your head with your inner arm. And then pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat, grounding your hands on your thighs, finding a lift of your heart, settling your hips down, close your eyes. Notice maybe there's a little bit more connection of your body to your breath, of yourself to this moment. Maybe a little bit less reaction, a little more presence. And if this practice was helpful to you today, I would encourage you and all of us to find ways to connect. So this could be harmonizing our bodies with nature on a hike. This could be calling up a friend and just feeling that connection with someone who knows and loves us. It could be just making time to slow down at the end of the day, to feel yourself in the moment. It's a really, really powerful practice to feel this connection, this union, this balance of ourself in relationship to the moment. Drawing your hands in at your heart, bowing the chin into the wisdom of your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. The light in me sees the light in you. Thank you, yogis. Be well. Unionize, harmonize, take care of yourself and one another. Bye-bye.